we have a video to watch from Taliesin and Evitel, a channel that we've rated quite often. Why everyone hates 10.0.7 and why it's brilliant. The weekly reset WoW news.
This video is sponsored by NordVPN.
Hello Internet, Taliesin here. Welcome to another episode.
Don't get on me about dark mode. I don't know why. I just like it, okay? I don't like darkness on everything. Some of my shit is dark mode, maybe.
Taliesin and Evitel's Wondrous Wisdom Show in a week where we have been playing a lot of patch 10.0.7. Probably far too much 10.0.7, and that's what we're gonna talk about today, because I think we can all agree that there are parts of this patch which are genuinely, legitimately very good indeed.
I'm not gonna lie.
10.0.7's
been fun for me. It has been. I've been enjoying the patch. You know, doing a little bit of the stuff, but I don't feel obligated to do anything, except maybe getting the right gems for the ring, right? Getting the right gems for the ring does feel a bit of like, hey, Sam, you got to get in here and do that. But otherwise, it's been pretty fun. Getting the keys, fine, just run around and kill shit. Not too bad overall.
Seen more of a mixed reaction,
but a nice in-between patch
that people seem
so far.
to absolutely hate, and we aren't going to ignore those things. Oh no, siree! In fact, I'm going to put all of those things in the title, probably with a picture of my face going. Yeah, because I've been in this business for a while now. I know how it works. Don't worry, Evie's in this one too.
That's what I got to start doing for my YouTube channel. That's why it hasn't fully. It's doing great. I love all the follows. Thank you so much for the follows, by the way. But I need to start putting in more Sam reacting faces on there. I need to start putting big, like, you know, big faces. That's the clickbait that you need on YouTube to really take off.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get started on this special edition of the Weekly Reset, Why You Hate Patch 10.0.7. Yeah, I know, but it's fun though. But before I do that, let me give you my own personal overall reaction to the patch, and I'm gonna try not mince my words here, okay? But I think 10.0.7 is f***ing outstanding, like in a number of really important ways.
Yes.
To be getting a patch which is going to last maximum 2 months, quite likely slightly less, with what is essentially a new zone, multiple hours worth of new story content and cutscenes, special dungeon events, and even a new power progression feature to play with before 10.1 launches with another new zone and hours of story and new renown and dungeons and a new raid and a whole new season. It's kind of wild, honestly. I genuinely think Blizz have knocked it out of the park with these opening 3 patches of Dragonflight, and from what I've played of Embers of Neltharion on the PTR, there is no reason to believe that won't extend to 10.1 too. And so, whereas I have quite happily stated since launch that I think Dragonflight rates as one of the best opening patches in WoW expansion history,
agreed.
I genuinely feel comfortable now with this patch out, 10.1 on the horizon, saying that I think Dragonflight is probably the best expansion ever at this stage. 16
at this stage, okay.
Weeks in. And what's
16,
extra
okay, he really narrowed down his preface there. Right. I totally agree with the 10.0.7 stuff. It is fantastic. I think people keep forgetting it's an in-between patch, right? It's just a between you know, minor patch, but it feels like it's almost entering major patch territory, but it's not. So I think people are looking at it and they're like, this is a patch? This is a major patch? It feels like a major patch, but it's not. Well, because it isn't. But it's giving so much content as compared to other in-between patches, which are usually just like balance and you know, tweaking patches. This one actually has given us a lot of content, and that's why I think for an in-between patch, it's amazing.
I don't even think that is a controversial opinion.
Today's plan is some mount runs. We're going to get in here and try to get a mount live on stream.
Aftertaste of apologist, but a lot of people agree with me on this. And even if you don't think it's the best, chances are you rate Dragonflight extremely highly. And even if you absolutely hate it, and people do, you can probably acknowledge that most people think it's ace. And I've got to say, that's nice, isn't it? I like WoW quite a lot, and it's nice when it's really good. But enough sucking each other off. Here is things you hate about 10.0.7. Number 1, the changes to work orders. New in this patch, when you create a public work order, you now don't have to include all of the materials for that work order, which is a change I don't actually mind, to be honest. Whatever. The problem is that this was a woefully underreported change, which isn't immediately obvious in the UI, especially to many crafters who, let's be honest, have never actually seen a real public order in their entire lives up until this point. Thank goodness that this is the WoW community community we're talking about here, because
I did this. I made this mistake. So I started crafting for the first time. I told you guys this. I started crafting for the first time, and I was like, oh, let me go do some work orders to build up my jewel crafting. I fucked up. I ended up doing like 2 work orders that the people hadn't given all of the mats for, and I used some of my own mats, and I didn't want to. It screwed me over. And they like there was no indication there, like it wasn't blatant in your face like that they were gonna take my mats to do it. I fucked up, man. They used my mats, and I filled the work order. I guess I gave him a gift. But he's totally right about that. They need to better indicate it, especially for people who are doing work orders for the first time, like myself in this patch. You're going to fuck yourself over. Be careful. Be careful. Yeah.
We all know.
Yeah. Laugh it up, yeah. Yeah.
They would never stoop so low as to, say, place unmaterialed orders for expensive items in the hope of basically scamming the shit out of someone who didn't know better. Only joking. There's absolutely shit tons of public orders now, as dastardly rapscallions are posting orders for items without mats and for commissions that are way lower than the cost of said mats, as in, like, 10 times less the cost of the mats. And woe betide you if you have those mats in your bank and don't notice that there aren't the tiny, tiny little ticks next to the mats on the public order when you...
Yeah, and the thing is that it was like this. They had all the mats except like 1. And I fucking used mine. Damn it.
Because if you didn't, or if you did and you didn't, you've just lost a ton of gold. And that's a shit show, obviously. This change killed public orders for good. It's absolutely disgusting. Basically, the WoW version of, we'll pay you an exposure. So don't get caught out. Always look for those tiny, tiny little ticks before you accept a public word.
So I looked this up after. There is an add-on that adds another tab right here, and it'll say whether they have all or none. It literally just puts all or none, all or none right here. It'll say, and if it says none, it means they don't have all the work, all the mats. If it says all, they have them all, and it just adds another column here. It's an add-on that you can get. I actually have it pulled up on here. I'll show you guys after the video.
Or use an add-on like no mats, no make to tell whether all, some, or no mats are being supplied with that order before you even click on it. I have
like 100 or 200 gold. I forgot what it was. It was for that shit that I learned how to make. You know, with the tuning fork and everything. Whatever the hell that is. I made a couple of them.
But here we go. If you are willing to sift through the scams, there do, anecdotally at least, appear to be more legit orders to fill than ever. I've maxed out my 4 allowed fulfillments the last 4 days in a row, making tens of thousands of gold. So I'm not sure I can really call this change a failure, just a bit of a learning curve, which I hate. I hate learning. Things you hate about patch 10.0.7. Me and Evie are going to talk more about the Orc and Human Heritage Armor quest lines later in the episode, but you may have noticed if you've done the human quests, the old favorite Vanessa Van Cleef is back and being awesome. But there's something different about her, isn't there? Oh yeah, she's wearing trousers. I repeat, there is 0 thigh flesh on the new Vanessa Van Cleef model. That was a shit show, obviously. Can't have girls looking too hot now, can we? They should have turned her into a bowl of fruit. More SJW shit. We should just be thankful they didn't give her blue hair. Vanessa Van Cleef was, quote, a child when we killed her dad in vanilla. So let's say that this iconic Cataclysm depiction of her is 18 years old, which I think is probably the minimum she could possibly be under California law without us getting a bit uncomfortable with said depiction. That would make her pushing 30 in the Human Heritage questline. And, you know, I've been 30. I can totally vouch for that being a time when you think to yourself, you know what? I'm just going to wear the comfy pants today. I do like how the thigh-revealing assassin swimsuit looks, but I think I'm just going to wear the comfy pants.
More thighs. Make Warcraft thigh again.
Things you hate about 10.0.7 The Ring. Okay, hear me out. I don't hate it. Lots of people do. The Onyx Amulet is the main power progression system for the patch, which is already a weird thing to say because it's a patch which really isn't about power progression, you know? Honestly, if there is a main point to 10.0.7 beyond the story, it's alt gearing. Someone on my stream said that 10.0.7 feels like a 10.1 pre-patch, and I think that's a really nice way of putting it. But the ring is intended...
That's actually a great way of putting it. It does feel like a pre-patch with the events, with the ring, the ways to catch up gear quickly. I mean, the catch up gear mechanics right now are the best they've ever been.
to be useful to everyone. Blizzard
yeah, I had to give my daughter medicine. She got a fever yesterday.
For most players, at
Sickness
least until early on in Season 2. And for the sake of balance, here are the things I like about the ring. It is incredibly easy to complete. I didn't even try, and I was able to acquire both my amulets on my main with my BIS gems, according to Wowhead, link in the description, BIS fans, and max it out with the dual crafting things.
I've not got all my gems yet. It's a laziness issue more than anything.
The stones up in a
and
day.
A work thing.
Very easy to do. That is a good thing. In that sense, it is what domination gems should have been all along, which is just as well. Because
welcome back to the stream, Lords. Welcome back to the stream, Lords. Damn you, damn you, scared the shit out of me. I did want to say, Lords, by the way, I've been waiting for you to come back, man. Welcome back. Still so sorry you didn't win the helm, but so happy to see you back, man. I thought about you all weekend, I swear. Thought about you all weekend. Thank you so much again for all those subs.
It sucks. Firstly, just about every class has the exact same best gems, which is fine, just a bit boring. And those BIS gems don't really have any cool visual effects on them, to the extent that I had to set up weak auras telling me when the effects were proccing, just so I had that nice dopamine fueling feedback from it. Also, it seems silly to me that the work order items you use to level the gems are dual crafting items, because it just seems like such a waste. Dual crafters have been eating incredibly well this expansion so far.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have. I finally decided to do my jewel crafting just because of this. This is the thing I made. Unstable Elementium. Right? Strengthen the power. Yeah, this is what I made. This is what I made for people. So I did 2 work orders. Each one was like, I don't know, I think it was like 200 gold or 100 gold. For people who didn't have mats. Fucked myself. Real hard.
Blizz. You could easily have thrown Enchanting a bone with this one, but no, it still sucks to be you, Enchanters. Sorry. You deserve it, but I'm sorry. The main problem so far, though, has been the confusion.
What's up, Brownie? Good morning.
Because since patch day, there have been no less than 4 hotfixes to Primordial Stones. Nearly all buffs to try and make it as powerful as Blizz intended, which they've kind of had to do because on patch day, it did kind of suck for a lot of classes, which is why the community as a whole, and especially the forums, were so happy.
I'm sure they were. Yeah, the forums were very
happy. And the third hotfix, and the no, it was a shit show. Yeah. Get me off, John Blizz. Dickhead, get these stones. Great system, you guys. Give the ring secondaries. Holy fuck, the whole community is asking for it. So here's the thing. Yeah, the ring has no secondary stats on it because the whole idea is that the stones have very interesting special effects instead. But rings are, of course, a main source of secondary stat, which means that the amulet is wildly varying in usefulness for different classes. If you're a tank, you are going to love the extra damage that it's giving you. If you're a Moonkin or a Shadow Priest, it's basically trash. And honestly, that would be fine. Who cares? Except Blizzard want it to be want for everyone, which means they want it to be keep on buffing it to the point that they are probably going to have to buff it so much it is totally broken in 10.0.7 and then nerf it into absolute oblivion, basically make it unusable in Season 2, which isn't ideal, but actually is also fine. Who cares? I do think this would be a much bigger deal if the stones were harder to get and level, or if this was the main power progression system for a major patch and season like Domination Shards were, and not just the dregs of Season 1. And also, actually, to be frank, when I say that it's trash for Moonkins, I mean like mythic level Moonkins. Actually, the ring is amazing for my Moonkin because my Moonkin is item level 368 and it replaced a ring with a level, I shit you not, of 343. So your mileage will vary. Things I hate about 10.0.7. I hate that it hasn't got a name. It's only a little thing, but I say the patch number quite a lot. It makes this section of my video sound dumb. I have to keep saying 10.0.7. It's stupid. Things you hate about the new patch. Of course, you get the ring from the Yaskera vaults, and we'll talk more about that again in the stuff we like section, because fair play, it is really
I'll be honest, so I haven't been following guides. I go into the vaults and I just open random doors. And essentially what I've done at this point is now I have a bunch of random doors open that I can't do because I didn't open the proper door to get like the thing to do that one. And that's kind of annoying. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of annoying because it's slowed my progression a lot. Had I opened the correct doors to start off with, I probably would have more gems right now than I do. I don't find the vaults to be amazing. I like the content, but I kind of wish it was just like a puzzle that you could do. Like you open the door and you figure out how to do something in the room. I don't like the fact that other rooms are required to do previous rooms. That's kind of annoying to me.
fun, but actually...
Sam, you're on a roll this morning.
...sucks, and I'll tell you why. This
it's classic Sam, right?
Right outside the door. I cannot tell you how many times I have left the vault, mounted up, ready to soar into Forbidden Reach adventure, only to fly straight into the branches of this, as I will be...
I've done it too. I've hit that tree.
From now on, twat bow. I will be literally sitting on the branch of the twat bow instead of getting to the rare that just popped, or the Forbidden Horde. Oh yeah, things you hate about 10.0.7. The Forbidden Horde chest, as far as I can tell, can be looted by exactly 3 people before they off and disappear. Usually in the time between me clicking it and actually opening it, because me, that's why the Forbidden Horde. Things I hate about 10.0.7. I love that the Forbidden Reach is so well populated in terms of rares and stuff. And you know me, team, I'm not one to blame the game for me being an idiot, you know? At first, I found it quite hard to work out where all of those rares were actually spawning. The first couple of days of the patch was spent learning where the various cave entrances were.
Yeah, Blizzard loves caves. I don't know why. They just love to put bosses in, like, world bosses in caves. They're, hey, let's make a cave and put a boss in it. Let's make an underwater cave and put a boss in it. Let's make a cave at the top of the mountain and put a boss in it. Let's make a cave under the mountain and put a boss. Let's spread somebody's cheeks, pretend that's a cave, and put a boss inside of them. That's essentially what the Forbidden Reach feels like. It's a bunch of cave bosses.
Were facing the center or facing out to the sea. And actually, that was really fun. Dragon riding around the zones is exciting and visceral, especially when there's a whole bunch of you swooping from boss to boss. But there's one that just annoys the shit out of me every time.
Is it the underwater one?
You're all thinking, Talie's gonna say Watcher Entrix, or as I call her, Watcher, oh, never mind, because you see the icon pop on the map, and it's like Schrodinger's boss as you move your cursor to mouse over it. If it's Galacrad, the dragon who sleeps on top of the mountain, you're gonna go there and kill it. If it's our girl Entrix, you're gonna go, oh, never mind. Don't really fancy heading right down to the heart of the deepest vault on the island and fighting through a literal army of only to probably not get there in time. But no, actually, it's not Entrix. Actually, I really enjoyed heading to Entrix the first couple of times that I killed her. It was genuinely exciting, smashing our way through this seemingly endless system of corridors to get there. It felt like a huge, real event.
Yeah, not a fan of caves.
The one that pisses me off. Oh, well, actually, also, I hate that hunter guy who's in that cave, which is like, you have to do this weird hairpin bend back on yourself, and then you hit a wall because you've gone the wrong way, and there's always like 6 other people on that wall because they've done the same thing, and then you're like, nah. But no, the one that really pisses me off, and I admit this is only because I'm stupid, is the guy and his dragon girlfriend on top of the tower. And only because I never check which boss the icon is when it appears, and I always end up heading down to where the stupid volcanic dragon boss thing is, down the stairs instead. Like, seriously, every time. It's humiliating, and I'm putting it in the video because I can't be the only one, right? Please tell me you do that too. It can't just be me, right? Things you hate about 10.0.7.
Maybe it's some pre-cave game because we're gonna be in a cave the entire next patch. That's a good point, Day. Get used to being in caves. That's right.
Hey friends, guess what? It's that time. It's time to talk about VPNs. Now, I know I'm probably preaching to the choir here, but even the most internet savvy of us need reminding that our personal internet space is sacred, even when it might not feel that way. And it is up to you to keep it safe. Thanks to NordVPN, and especially its browser extension, I know my shiz is safe and secure at all times. Gotta have the safe shiz. And it gives me all kinds of flexibility, especially in ways you might not expect. For example, want to use different VPNs on different browsers? Having Nord means I can be in the UK on Chrome,
want to browse
but in
porn
France
and not get caught
on Microsoft Edge? Don't ask me why I need to do this, but listen, I can. Imagine being on Chrome in France.
What mount aren't we getting
today? Is your bank giving you hassle for logging in on a suspicious IP? Thanks to the split tunneling feature, I can do all the money stuff with my real IP while doing literally everything else on the internet via my VPN server. I am 100% legit. And 3, visiting your parents and need to get some work done on your mom's laptop? Brave. No need to install any new apps, no siree. Just pop the NordVPN extension on a browser and you're good to go. She'll thank you for it anyway. Sounds like something you could do with, right? Luckily for you, every purchase of a 2-year plan right now will receive 4 bonus months for free. FYI, this is still the best deal for NordVPN online, so head to nordvpn.com/Taliesin Evitel to check it out. If at any point you're not happy, Nord has a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's no risk.
Hey,
that's nordvpn.com/Taliesin Evitel.
Get your money, Taliesin Evitel.
You're welcome.
we really need a library tab, either in our bank or most likely in our collections, where we can store all of the books and journals and letters and stuff that we pick up throughout the world. Especially these days,
all the books
because
and journals
books
that I don't
diaries and pages, I mean sending stones, are clearly one of Steve Danusa's absolute favoritist ways in the whole wide world, though, to reveal or foreshadow pretty massive lore points, especially in 10.0.7, which is full of that stuff.
Yeah,
There's
great
really
point.
awesome pages about Neltharion and pirates discovering a new continent to the west, and the mother of the Drakthea, and new old gods, and other absolute treasures, which I don't want to vendor
Yeah, big
or delete,
lore reveals.
but I know if I put them in my bank, I'm just going to forget about them, and so I keep them all in my bags, along with all the other 10.0.7 knickknacks. Just give us a searchable library tab that we can save all the books that we find to, like our toy collection, please, Blizz. I really don't know anything about coding or game dev, but I'm pretty sure that would be amazingly easy to implement. I'm thinking someone can do that in like 20 minutes over their lunch break, so let's make it happen, please. Things you hate about 10.0.7, the spreadsheet. Obviously, the patch is pretty incredible for alt catch-up, with 385 account-bound gear tokens dropping like sweets from a Willy Wonka piñata party, which can easily be upgraded to 395. But the best thing about them, that isn't even the item level, to be honest, is the transmog. Because of course, you can change all of that Primalist gear into raid sets using the Revival Catalyst, with 385 being the normal raid color, and 395 appearing as the heroic raid color. Which means for the first time really ever, I'm in a position where I can get every single one of my alts, and I've got a character for each class.
What? I have not been doing that. Shit, I could have gotten the entire LFR set by converting it every week. Fuck. Missed opportunity. I've just been literally selling that shit because I don't have any alts. You guys know that. I only play my DK. Damn, that's a good idea. Could have gotten the transmog. Well, I guess I can still do it now.
In the game, the LFR, normal, and heroic tier set appearances for their class. And this means that not only does my spreadsheet need to tell me which of my characters need what items in terms of item level, but I need to efficiently keep track of whether they have collected the normal and heroic looks with minimal wastage of catalyst charges. Like, for example, say I get a 385 helm for my monk. I need to remember to put it through the catalyst for the normal look before I upgrade it for the blue glowy heroic look. But then what if I haven't collected the green upgraded Primalist leather helm look yet? In that case, I'm going to need 2 helms, one to catalyst at 385 for the normal raid appearance, and one to upgrade for the
Transmog Lover's Dream
appearance. And my spreadsheet needs to reflect that, and I hate it. No, I don't hate it at all. It's awesome, and I live for it. Oh, great. It looks like we're into stuff that you like about the patch now. Phew.
Evie, we've just been saying all horrible things that everyone hates about 10.07. Can you just give us some good stuff, please? Tell me something you like.
I love the vaults.
You do?
I really like the vaults.
Okay, right. Well, okay. I've separated this section into, like, so because what happened, here's what happened.
See, like, there's nothing really wrong with the vaults. I'm just not a fan of things that make me think too hard. Besides work. I'm telling you guys, all my thinking is on cooldown, essentially all day after work. I cast thinking. It's a spell. I cast it for the entirety of work, from 9 to 5, right? I'm casting think. Casting it it's a long cast. I'm casting it the whole time. And then once it's done, it's on cooldown the rest of the day. I don't like to think the rest of the day, whether it's the morning or the night. That's my issue with the vaults. My think is on cooldown. I can't use it anymore. So I just sit there and I have to think about shit, and then all I hear in my head is, you can't use that yet. You cannot use that item yet. Yep.
Happened, right? I wrote a script which was kind of alternating between, you know, something that everyone loves about 10.07 and something that, you know, everyone hates, tee-hee. Because I thought you wouldn't be in this video, and then we found ourselves with a couple of hours to spare.
Yeah, we can calm mind all day.
So I thought I'd just cut all the good stuff from the script, and I thought you could...
Presence of mind. I have no presence of mind the rest of the day. That's it.
Tell us all about that here, because I've barely touched on the vaults at all. Honestly.
Okay, so I've done them just a couple of times, and I did that thing. Well, let me preface this with saying I did that thing where I went into the Forbidden Reach and I started picking up every quest, and I instantly had, you know, I guess you could call it like patch anxiety, like quest anxiety, where you pick up too many quests, and I wasn't even reading them, and I was just clicking them, and I was just like frantic to do them, and at the same time, all of the rares were popping, and I was like, what are these for? And so then
when you first get there, there's
anyway,
a lot to do, but there isn't anymore.
I went in to the vaults the first time with like loads of keys.
The size of this cup.
And I just like blasted through it and just had like 3 doors left or something. And then I came out and I was like, yeah. And then I handed in my quest, and the guy's like, please return to the vault and open 3 more doors. And I was like, oh.
And also they're like, okay, can you go in and get like the anvil now? And can you go in and get like the thing?
Can you go back and get the
stuff?
Right?
I saw those, but they weren't glowing.
Exactly.
Okay, right. Oh, what?
Yeah, did you do that too?
Yeah, so when I'm doing it on my alts, because obviously I'm doing it on like 13 alts as well,
right.
I've got into the habit of like, you go in, you get the ring, you go out again, you hand in the ring, you get told to go and get
and
like the anvil and stuff.
Yeah, that's the pro way to do it.
Yeah, totally. And then I, about 10 keys. My alts usually have like 10 keys on them by the time I actually kind of take them into the vault. And because I love the skip, by the way. I don't know if you've appreciated this, but like there's a complete skip of like all the story straight away.
Yeah, I don't know that because I don't have alts.
Nice.
You talk to someone at the top of like the big dragon tower in Valdrakken, and you're like, yeah, whatevs, man, whatevs. And then you teleport there, and Emberthal is like, okay, hero, we've got, and you're like, yeah. And you and then you're on the island. You're on like the Tuskar Island, and everything's ready to go. So you miss some like rewards and stuff, some of the upgrade items, but I think overall it's probably worth it.
Probably fine.
And I find that going in with 10 keys is all I need to get all the stones I need to have my bis and stuff.
Oh man, how? I don't have my shit. I've used so many keys, I don't have my shit.
Buy some and stuff like that. So how are you with that?
Yeah, I got my bis like right away.
Yeah.
Like, well, the thing is, I did the quest and then said, I went and I checked my optimal stones, and then it turns out I already had one of them, and I was like, okay. And then I just like broke them down and remade a couple of other ones. And then
is that what you got to do? I have one, and then I have a bunch of other stones that are useless. Should I just break them down? I can make the ones I need. The fuck? What? Wait, can you make your best in slot stones? Where can you make them? I know there's a guy to break shit. What the hell? What do you mean with the dots? What do you mean with the dots? How am I supposed to know that? Buy them from the vendor? Wait. Yeah, how? Exactly. Well, I'm with crows. What do you mean? I've been trying to just grind out fucking keys and open every door. I've been trying to get 30 keys. I have so many stones that I'm never going to use. Can I just break them down and make the ones I want? Hold on. Come on, guys. Tell me the answer here.
Instantly had it.
What about the vaults themselves? Do you like them as a
Type
kind of
quickly. Type quickly.
I really like them. They
you can
kind
use
of push
fragments to buy them from
like,
the vendor.
Super simple, like extremely simple. Like not. It's
but
too
it's
much
the
to call them
family
puzzles,
of the gem.
Like, here's a room
there is
full of
RNG
fire.
involved.
Oh, there's a thing in this other
vendor is RNG, so you buy like a thing. So you don't always get the one you want, but if you don't get the one you want, can you just break that one down too and then try again? But you probably lose some at that point. E.g. like nature. Okay, we'll try that later.
Room that gave me a barrier against fire. And it totally like stroked my my evoker ego because
you know which room I have not been able to get past? The freaking arcane room where there's like an orb floating in the middle and it'll blast you as soon as you enter the circle, so you can't loot the chest. I haven't figured out how to get past that one yet.
Get up there, and then I got up to the top level, and then it's like, oh, here's
you lose
a little
4
thing
frags
that
if you don't
makes
want
you
it.
jump far.
Just
and I'm
get
like,
the arcane shield. I guess I haven't opened that room because I haven't gotten an arcane shield.
Super powerful.
Wait. Do you think that's the top level?
Yes.
But just the first bunch up?
Yeah.
There's like 2 others.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
There's like the bubble lift that you have to repair that takes you up to like the...
How do you repair the bubble lift?
And then...
wait, the bubble lift goes all the way up. I thought the bubble lift stops at...
You're going to need some more keys.
Oh.
The other thing I want to about is story on the Forbidden Reach. How much of that have you done? What have you played through?
So I've played through the main stuff.
Okay, with Emberthal.
Yeah. And what's his
name?
The
doors will all relock.
Abyssian. Yeah,
that guy.
Wait a minute, all the fucking doors are going to relock? Are they going to re-randomize? Oh my god, I hate this thing, man. Too much thinking.
I've got a video coming out probably
my think is on cooldown. I cannot.
This video comes out.
Nice.
Talking about that because I think.
Nope. Not gonna do it.
I mean, what did you think of the cutscene?
Not gonna deal with
it.
It.
So lovely.
Isn't it great?
It's really nice.
I'll just figure it out later.
Melodramatic, but in a good way.
Yeah, totally.
Little tinkly music had me going, and having these.
The key. I agree. It's exhausting. I don't want to deal with it.
I thought it was. I thought it was really nice.
So I think that kind of like
oh my god, they
sets up
Abyssian
as the future aspect of the Black Dragons. That's what the video is about. It's kind of like a half cinematic analysis and half talking about, like, you know, what this shows.
How many more to think
why
about
this is, like, in my opinion, nailed on. And dealing with, like, the fallout from that, because, like, a lot of people, you know, aren't...
So you're telling me all the keys I got this week are fucking useless? After reset? Oh my God.
On him being the leader at all, and like Rathers is my man. The whole flow of the story in Dragonflight is just really good.
It's
in my
nice,
opinion.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's so cool.
I'm really enjoying it.
Good to see like the writers.
Will they re-unlock? Will they stay unlocked?
The extra time and space that they've got to kind of like advance those stories. I'm really happy with it. But there was loads more than that as well, because you had like the human heritage quests and the orc heritage quests. Did you do any of those?
Neither of them.
Let me tell you about them, because I've done them both, and they took me ages.
I hear they are.
Well, it took me a while to do the orc one, because I was like, yeah, okay, so I had an orc kind of character who I've had forever, right? And even though I knew the orc character
all the doors you
was
opened
coming,
this week,
with that in the back of my mind, one day I was playing and I was like,
so you got something from that room, or
of course,
and I did. I changed him to a Tauren. And I did. I changed it, and I was stupid, because then when the Orc Heritage Armor came along, I was like, oh no. So I've got an Orc Warrior, okay, but not exalted with Orgrimmar. I was like, okay, well, it's fine. So I put on my Orgrimmar tabard, and I went into the Mechanar. I ran through...
I love the banter, but I do want to get in and start playing. This is a great video. Love the reactions. A lot of good 10.0.7 stuff in here. But I think it's time to get to playing. I don't know about you guys, but I think it's time. I think it is time to get into the game. We got Mount Run Tuesday going on before reset today. We're going to get in here and see how many mounts we can get. If we can get some mounts, that's right. We'll see. Is today the day? Is today the first day that mounts will happen for us? Maybe. Maybe.